I'm really not sure if everybody's kind of ready for this information because this will kind of really blow you away. But if anybody's worried about these solar flares, um, and the predictions that they're going to increase, and they've even had films out that there's going to be a big solar flare that will destroy the whole planet. And it's almost as if evil and those who worship Satan, kind of know because they worship the sun, and they kind of know more information that they're not sharing with everybody. And part of the science that you need to understand is this Mandelbrot set. It's proving that there are patterns just repeating itself all the time, which means that on the in the smallness of our reality is exactly the same in our bigness. So in the quantum world, if you study quantum science, what they found, at the very smallest aspect of every cell that makes you who you are, what they found is it's empty. There's nothing there except for spinning pieces of information that tells it what it is. And if you look out into the galaxies, they also appear to be spinning. And what's spinning? Information is spinning, but it's the bigness of all information that's spinning. And the spinning action creates a magnetism. That's another part of science you need to understand is everything about reality is magnetic. The earth goes around the sun perpetually based on magnetics. You attract what you want to experience magnetically. Like there's chemistry. There's I was magnetically attracted to this person. And that's happening all the time. If you are attracting negative experiences, it's because there's something in you that is attracting that experience. And if you shift, it's like that law of attraction. But it's not try this out, it might work for you, because there's nothing to try out. It's working for you 24/7. And if you aren't attracting what experiences you like instantly, then you have to look at the quantum world of yourself and see that you are repeating patterns over and over and over again to attract those same experiences over and over again. And you can jump out of it, but you have to recognize the pattern in order to jump out of it. So getting back to these solar flares, we always seem to think things are happening out there and it's affecting us. The moon is affecting us. The stars and horoscopes and everything out there is affecting us. And that's not really true. It's just if you want to understand who you are, the only way you can see who you are is by looking at the bigness of yourself. You know you are a human because you can see the bigness of who you are by your body. But to know inside you is a little harder because it's a lot smaller and it's, not easy to see because it's the quantum world, it's so small. But the bigness sometimes is a lot easier to see who you are. Lightning is another good example. Study how lightning works. And they're all neurons, negative and positive charged neurons. And this is what's happening with these solar flares. We think the sun is doing something to us, but actually we are the epicenter. We are doing something to the sun that's making it have solar flares. And it's almost like evil kind of wants that. And if you can see negative energy, I mean, when you feel frustrated, angry, any time you see yourself jumping into a negative experience, don't you feel racy? These are these spinners speeding up. These are, the negative neurons speeding up. And this is what's affecting, it works with lightning, but it's also working with solar flares, that it's almost as if this Illuminati, or these devil worshippers that are worshiping the sun, they need to cause as much negative energy so that it will create the sun to create more solar flares, because they think the answers are going to be to go through the sun. They've even had songs. There's I forget the name of the song, but there is one song out there from years ago that says "Go into the sun," um, and the only thing that's in the sun is death. So evil is basically trying to get rid of itself, because evil will die if it goes into the sun. Um, you have to learn more about how illnesses are created, and illnesses, all aspects of death are basically telling you you're doing the wrong thing. And how this is working with the positive, this is the same thing with lightning, positive and negative charge. There needs to be a path that creates this solar flare, and they needed to overpopulate the planet. And they've done so with marketing, a lot of brainwashing for you to believe you got to make a lot of money. Um, and so then all we're focused on is, all we are is about money. Happiness will come from money. If I buy a car that's sporty, then all of a sudden my dick will get big. Um, there's some really weird psychology that's been used in marketing to make sex sells. So every product that you use, there's an association with sex that subliminally makes you have more and more sex, which has definitely overpopulated the world. And so we needed to have this many people on the planet to create this level of negative energy. And the only way you can create this much negative energy is by now creating as much hell, as much frustration, as much anger as possible on the overpopulated people. Let's face it, if they put guide stones up there that says we're going to kill most of the planet, it's going to piss you off that somebody would even think of something like that. So we're building slowly these negative neon or neurons. And when they put out the Gulf oil, and we see, oh, they don't really care about us, and we see the government, oh, they don't really care about us, then when we start seeing people die and we see even more of that, we're really, really, really going to get even more frustrated and more angry. And people are saying buy gold. You have to understand what the Philosopher's Stone is all about. If I end up putting something in front of you and say this is worth a lot, you need to buy that, and I can manipulate your brain into thinking this gold is worth a lot of money. Let's face it, it's just a freaking rock, and it's gold. Why is it that we think gold is valuable? Because you've been made to believe that it's worth something. There's probably more gold on this planet than any other mineral, but we use it for jewelry, and we hoard it so nobody else can have it, and we keep manipulating you into thinking that it's worth something. So the only way you get something in value is when somebody's manipulating you to believe it, and when you believe it, then you'll buy it, and by buying it, you put a value to it. So now we see that there's a lot of negative energy that's being created out in the world, and it needs a path to be able to get to the sun, and like lightning, and they're positive and negative neons. Where the positive is all of nature, all of the water, all of the air, everything that's nature and calmness. Those are positive. Your anger is going to be negative, and that will clash. The positive will clash with the negative that you're creating. So this is why I'm really kind of telling you, calm down. There are solutions to every one of these problems. We are more positive than evil, and even the most enormous problem can be solved, but we act as a oneness. We all have to be at one with this. All of this cancer that's created by BP can be cured. Found the sciences for that if you follow along my channel. Every problem that you experience is nothing more than a solution waiting to unfold. That's the goodness. That's the positive. You will only see it if you're calm. You will only unfold it as if you're loving towards each other. But if we're hating each other, and there's a lot of reason to hate each other, that's the goal, then we are creating more of these negative neons, and mathematically you can tell that it'll be by 2012 there will be a solar flare that destroys us all, and evil. So evil's just basically trying to destroy itself. So peace out. Hope that helps. Blows your mind away.